What's up, guys, and welcome back to Diggin Sports. I'm going to go ahead and say it. Last week was not what I was expecting, especially with the loss against Georgia for Tennessee. Not exactly something that I was expecting, but we have to move forward past that. Give credit to Georgia. Give credit where it's due. Georgia played a great game. Start to finish, was able to do things they needed to do to slow down the number one offense in the country. But with that being said, Tennessee never quit. They always was trying their best to make some things happen, but with the crowd noise and the way the defense was playing, it was just too much. And I just don't think we were ready like we should have been. So, with that being said, Georgia looking really good. Tennessee, they take a step back. They drop to 5th in the college football playoff rankings. Georgia gets up to number 1. It's not over for Tennessee by any means. So I'm going to eventually give my top 4 in my next video. To where I think everybody should be ranked right now with everything that's going on. But that'll be in the next video. As for last week, like I said, loss against Georgia. TCU was able to come back again, let's just say, and beat Texas Tech. Excuse me, guys. But with that, does TCU really deserve to be at 4? Yes, they're winning, but they're really having to dig deep to win. I think that's got to be said. And you got LSU beating Alabama on a 2-point conversion. So, where's everything going to fall at the end of the year is really going to be questioned. If LSU goes to the SEC championship and they play Georgia, if that scenario happens, and let's just say LSU wins, then what do you do? What do you do with Tennessee with a dominating victory over LSU at LSU, and then you have Georgia losing an SEC championship to LSU? And then you got a 1-loss Georgia, you got a 2-loss LSU, you got a 1-loss Tennessee with a win over LSU, but a loss to Georgia. LSU, like I just said, losing to Tennessee at home 40-13, and then you have them also losing it by an extra point, first game of the season. So what do you do? It's gonna be crazy. I think the end of this season, the way I think everything's gonna play out, I think it's gonna be chaos. I really do, and I think that's really what's gonna open the eyes for everybody to having to expand the playoff. Which is already in the works of happening. So, with that being said, let's go on to week 11. I'm sorry if you guys catching my voice. Not feeling the best, but show must go on. So had to get up enough stamina. Let's do this, and let's get on to week 11. Here we go. All right. First game, going to go ahead and put that out there. We got Tennessee, playing Missouri at home, back at home. I think Tennessee gets back on track the way Tennessee's supposed to do it, and I think they're making a statement coming off a loss against Georgia, against Missouri. I'm going to go Tennessee in the first game. Then I have LSU at Arkansas. I'm going to go LSU. LSU coming off the good win against Alabama. Alabama already beat Arkansas, so if you can beat Alabama, I think you got a pretty good chance of going on the road and beating Arkansas as well. Arkansas, they're hit and miss right now where they're playing, but I'm going to go LSU in that game. Next, I got Texas A&M traveling to Auburn. This was a toss-up. It's kind of basically a coin flip. Heads or tails. Where do you go? They're kind of both in the same boat right now of what's going on. I think Auburn, after firing their head coach, with their interim head coach right now, I think they're in better hands in this case, and I'm going to go with them at home against Texas A&M. I think they're able played very well last week against Mississippi State. Mississippi State is, not the best of teams, but not the worst either. But I think Auburn, they're gonna be able to plug in some pieces, and I think they're gonna find enough to get the win. So let's go Auburn. Next game I got is Alabama at Ole Miss. Alabama coming off the loss, 2-point conversion at the end to LSU. I think that leaves a bad taste in their mouth, and I think they go in, head over heels at Ole Miss, and then they're going to be on their toes, and I think they're going to deliver a punch to Ole Miss, and I'm going to go Alabama on the road. Next, we got Georgia traveling to Mississippi State at 7:30. This is a very tough place to play with the cowbells and all of that. I think Georgia struggles first half, maybe first quarter, 2 quarters, maybe a first half. Just with the loudness of the cowbells. Is it fair? Probably not. But I think Georgia will get on the groove. They'll settle down. Stetson will be able to settle down. And if he's able to make some passes, I'm sure he will, get that run game going, I think they'll be just fine on the road at Mississippi State. To go Georgia. Next, I got Washington at Oregon. This was almost a game that I took the other way, and I about went Washington. But I'm going to say no. I'm going to pump the brakes on that. I'm going to go Oregon. I think Oregon's playing great ball right now. I still am a firm believer you do not get in the playoff. I just do not see it with a 46-point loss against Georgia in the opening of the season. Yes, first game of the season. But I hear a lot of critics, okay, and a lot of people say, okay, it was first game of the season, but with that being said, it was Georgia's first game of the season as well, and then you wanted to take it as Georgia wasn't the number 1 team. Y'all ranked them 3rd, in the first college football playoff rankings, with Tennessee being at 1, and Georgia was at 3, not even at 2. They were at 3. So with a dominating win against Oregon, which you're now saying is playing like one of the best teams in the country, but you're not saying that about Georgia with a 46-point win against them. It just doesn't add up to me. I'm just a firm believer in Oregon. I can't find a case for you to get in. I just can't. Not right now. Not with what I'm seeing. Not with that big loss at the first game of the season. But with that being said, I'm going to go Oregon at home. Stanford at Utah. Utah is a good. They're a good team. They are. And they're going to keep finding that out of just how good they can be, and that's going to continue against Stanford. Go Utah. Oklahoma at West Virginia. Another one of those coin flips, kind of heads or tails. We're going to go Oklahoma. I think they're going to be the ones that makes enough plays to win this game on the road. Pittsburgh at Virginia. I'm going Pitt. I think Virginia just doesn't have their ducks in a row right now. You can say that for Pitt too. They're having some struggles. But I'm going to go with Pitt in this game. So let's go Pitt. Notre Dame at Navy. Notre Dame coming off a dominant performance, 35-14 against the number 4 team in the nation, Clemson. Knocking them back to number 10. Notre Dame is now back in the college football playoff rankings. I'm going Notre Dame. I think they're going to be too much for Navy. I think Navy's going to get some good, nice little runs in there, stuff like that, based off triple option and stuff like that. But I'll go Notre Dame overall. Wisconsin traveling to Iowa. I'm not crazy about Iowa. Not at all. Offense is just struggling. I think Wisconsin's ground game and Braylon Allen going to get the win in this one. Nebraska traveling to Michigan. I think Nebraska can make this close. I think they make it closer than 29.5. I think 29.5 is a little too big of a spread. I'm not crazy about that, but I will go Michigan in the game. I think they'll have enough pieces to win the game. I just don't think about 29.5. I just don't see that, but Michigan with the overall victory. Rutgers at Michigan State. Rutgers played, really well, a half against Michigan last week. The interceptions bit them guys in the ass. Let's just be real. That's what happened. That's what's the turning point in the game. Michigan was the feed off that, and they just continued to plow ahead. I think this is a close one, but Michigan State pulls out at home. Indiana at Ohio State. 41.5, again, I think is just too large of a margin. I go Ohio State to win, but not by 41.5. I think that's a little much for those guys. But nonetheless, playing great ball at Ohio State. C.J. Stroud, him and Hendon Hooker in the race at the top, I believe, in the Heisman race. So, Louisville at Clemson. I'm going to go Clemson. Louisville had some nice wins. That I can say that. But overall, I think Clemson, Death Valley, they're going to find a way to crawl out that, the win there. So go Clemson. And the last game, host of College Game Day this week, is TCU at Texas. TCU, I think you're finally gonna find what's coming to you. And I think you're going to get your first loss of the season. How do you rebound off that and try to make the college football playoff with, comeback wins? I don't, really questionable. You're really going to have to win the Big 12 to make a case. But I think you drop one here against Texas. I think Texas playing at home at night. Crowd's going to be rocking. They're going to want this win more than anything. Top 4 team in the nation. That place is going to be crunk and loud and burnt orange everywhere. So with that being said, and they got a guy under center, man. That's if he's on, he's on, and in the same breath he's off. But I think he's going to be on. He's going to feed in with that crowd, and I think the defense will make some plays against your TCU's offense. And I think they're going to be the team out of Texas to find a win. I'm going to go with the Longhorns against the undefeated team in the nation at number 4. I'm going to go Texas. That is it. That's all the games of this week on the Week 11 slate. Like I said, guys, though, giveaway still out there, $75 Amazon gift card. Waiting to find a lucky winner. Let's get those subscribes up. Let's hit 1,000. Really appreciate the views on the hype video. Saw that we got over 1,000 views. If everybody that watched that video would just drop their subscribe, we'd be in a giveaway right now. But we're not. I'm still waiting to try and get that 1,000, but nonetheless, the giveaway is still out there, as it will be until we hit 1,000. Please like, subscribe, share this thing, man. Let's get it out there. I don't get many comments as I would like. I'd like people to, tell me to chime in and tell me, what they would like to hear, what they would like to talk about. How can we improve the show and stuff like that. So I'm always looking to open ideas and ways to improve the show here at Diggin Sports. But without further ado, though, I really do appreciate it and everything that everybody has chimed in with some comments, with the likes, subscribes, appreciate it. But as always here at Diggin Sports, keep digging.